Hey, y'all, and welcome to In Good Company with AT. I'm your host, Alexandria, and today I have with me my Aunt Lisa, who is here to share about growing something beautiful. It is so hard to introduce you, Aunt Lisa, because I feel like you're talented in so many ways. You are a professional day to day, you're a gardener, you are a YouTuber, you can record, you can do video, you had a record shop. So I will allow the interview itself to be an introduction to you, but I really appreciate you joining. Before we get started talking about YouTube and gardening, what is your favorite thing that you currently have in your garden?
I have a lot of things growing, a lot of vegetables and everything growing right now. But I think the most interesting thing, I this year we have started growing herbs more because
Okay.
with a lot of beneficial traits about them. And I was gifted a plant called Leaf of Life, and that is the
Okay.
most interesting plant that I'm growing right now. And
And
it's just beneficial in so many ways, so many
what are
ways.
some of the benefits of Leaf of Life?
Well, it can help with anything respiratory that you may have going
Okay.
on. It has been reported that it has helped with in curing cancer in research
Okay.
of it. It is like the leaf of life, just like anything in your life
Yeah.
that you may have going on, it can kind of help with it in so many ways.
And do you plan on, like, steeping that and using it in teas? How do you plan on using it?
Yeah, it's also a succulent, so you can just grow it
Oh,
inside, you can grow it
okay.
outside because you use it as a tea mostly.
Okay.
Like if you're gonna use it for if you got a cough or a flu or whatever, you need it for, you can steep it. You just drink it as a
I
tea.
might ask you to send me some of that because that sounds
I
like
have a
something
lot.
that would be beneficial. That's great, and I'm sure that'll be beneficial, especially going into the winter months when cold
Yes.
and flu season come along, so
Yes.
that's great. So thank you for sharing that. Can you tell us just a little bit about yourself and tell us a little bit about gardening with Lisa?
Well, I didn't start gardening when I was young, so I didn't learn early, and this is just something that I've started doing in the last 6 years. But I am just, I'm kind of like to myself, and I enjoy interacting with people, but sometimes I just have to be to myself. And I love filming and everything, but I'm just kind of quiet,
Yeah,
kind of
introverted,
quiet.
which is
Yeah. Yes,
yeah.
exactly. I can do a lot of people, but then sometimes I gotta get to myself. I may have to take a nap, or I just gotta get myself back together or gather myself or
And I
something.
think that's the interesting thing about being a introvert. People are thinking like just because you're an introvert, it doesn't mean that you can't interact with people, but it's in the way that you recharge. So you need that time to yourself to recharge. So what I'm hearing from you is that gardening helps you to have that time as an introvert to
Yes,
recharge. That's great.
exactly.
And who taught you how to garden?
YouTube.
YouTube University.
Right. My mother and father, they were gardeners. I mean, daddy, we were raised on a farm. Daddy had pigs, he had cows. And then mama and daddy both raised a big garden. It probably was about an acre of land, and they raised vegetables. This was probably before I was born. Like my brothers and sisters, they're older than me, so they remember when they had chickens. They were gone
Yeah,
by the time I was there, but they had chickens. Mama probably didn't have to go to the grocery store for much because they had
because she had
everything.
everything she needed. Yeah.
Yes, and that's how they
So it's in
raised us.
you.
Yes.
It's in you. It's in the blood. I
Right.
don't know that it flows too far this way because I will kill a succulent, but it's in the blood.
The want to do it is still there.
Yeah. Yes, for sure. So, what I'm hearing is YouTube taught you. Are there any creators that were, like, instrumental in you learning to garden?
Well, the want to start gardening was, Ned Farmer, 73, I think, and he was out harvesting some of his red mustards. And I don't even know how I got started watching gardening videos, but I ran across his channel and it was the beginning of COVID. It was in 2020. We weren't supposed to leave home. We were
Right.
working every other day. And so I had to find something to do. I was here by myself. My
Yeah.
sister was still in Florida, so I was here by myself. And I think his video was fall before in 2019. And I was watching it. I'm like, okay, I think I could grow some of them because I kind of remembered mama and daddy doing gardening, but I wasn't out there because I'm too afraid of snakes.
Mr.
But
No Shoulders.
yes, Mr. No Shoulders and his family, when they show up, I go in the house. But I saw him harvesting his mustard greens, and I thought, I want to grow something this year. I want to grow some tomatoes. I want to grow greens. I want to grow cabbage and all that. And so that's when I got started. And I watched
That's
him,
great.
and then the, Miss Linda, the New Orleans gardener, she's in New Orleans, and those were the only 2 that I was watching at that time, but I was binge watching their videos, and then I was learning, and they seemed to be knowledgeable in it, and they had been gardeners for
Yeah.
years. So I was learning a lot from them just starting
That's
out.
great. I think that's the great thing about YouTube, like, you can learn so many new things on
Yes.
there, and I think it's great even now you're paying it forward, right? Like, now
Right.
you are a YouTuber and you are teaching others, and we'll get into all of that. But can you tell me a little bit about your first garden? So, like, that first harvest, like, what was that like? What were you growing? What were the outcomes?
I had one coworker that gardens, and she brought me some seeds. She brought me some squash seeds, and
Okay,
then I snuck out to Rural King, which is like a seed store, kind of like, and I bought tomato plants, like a 6 sale tray of tomato
okay.
plants, and I bought a few more seeds. I brought some okra seeds and stuff like that. And now I went to our local co-op, I bought more seeds. And this preacher, he built me a wooden garden bed that was like
That's so nice.
by 3. Yes.
Okay.
And so I set that up at the end of my patio, and then I had a bunch of pots and containers just everywhere. And like I said, my a coworker had given me squash seeds. I dropped all of those seeds in one hole. I had no idea. I just dropped them all in, and I can't believe I did that.
And but also if she gave you the seeds, like, usually if you buy the packet, it'll have the instructions and tell you how much, but if she just
Right.
gave them to you
She gave them to
for
me.
hers, you didn't know what to do?
No, but I should have known better than put them all in one. But I did that. I got everything started. I got seeds, planted my little tomato plants, and I put all of them in all 6 of those plants in one huge pot. And so this one lady, she was our musician at church, and she would call me every day. And she was like, "Baby, what you got planted?" And she's like, "I cannot believe that you're doing this." And she has she had a little garden on her patio. And so she she said, "I have got to come down. I got to put my mask on, and we're gonna go and see what you're doing." And so
That's so sweet.
she went and she saw how I had everything so
Compact.
compacted and everything. She said, "Let's break this up. Let's separate them." And
That's
she
so sweet.
just calmly just did everything. And I was just watching her. And she was like, "Just give me your rake, give me your trowel, give me, whatever." And I was just watching her. And I learned a lot from her. Miss Evelyn Wills.
I love that, and, like, from what I've learned from you, that was also very ambitious for you to start everything from seed as a
Yes,
first time
yes,
gardener.
and
So
that
you went all the way in there.
yes, and you know what? Once she got me set up and I had a better idea watching Led Farmer, watching Miss Linda, I was know started to know what to watch for, know what to look for, know when to fertilize, how to fertilize, which fertilizer to use, and I started learning more and more and more, and every morning I get up and look out the back door and see if anything has come up. That is
Just grow
so
yeah,
exciting to me. That is so
yeah.
exciting to me.
It and that actually, like, leads into my next question. What keeps you gardening year after year?
That, I mean, it's just awesome. It's amazing to plant a tiny seed and
Yeah,
know that, like a tomato seed, you plant that and it may grow as tall as your house. It may grow 16 or
yeah,
17 feet tall, and it will give you so much fruit. That, I mean, like,
yeah,
we make our own tomato sauce and pasta sauce, and we preserve a lot of, like, our green beans, our peas. We freeze in the freezer our greens, our cabbage. I mean, we prepare for when it's cold and we can pull the food out.
right,
That's what keeps us going every year. And now we're growing tomatoes and okra and melons and stuff, and we're preserving it and getting prepared for winter. If we want some spaghetti or something like that, we
right,
can make it. Some soup, stews. We have our sauce, and we got our mixed vegetables. If we want to make
right.
stir fry, we have broccoli. We have everything to go in a stir fry, and
Yeah,
that is what keeps us going.
and I can attest to being there, and it all tastes so great and so fresh, and it makes me like, "Oh, I need to garden so I don't have to go to the grocery store and get this stuff," or support my local farmers as well,
Yeah.
and gardeners and
Uh-huh.
homesteaders, so that it has inspired me to want to eat differently because stuff does taste a lot differently when it is fresh and from a
Yeah.
garden.
When it is sent to the grocery store, it's actually sprayed with something to keep it pretty.
To preserve it, yeah, and keep it
Yes.
all like that waxy stuff that you have to wash off.
Yes, and it takes forever to
Not just
wash it
wash,
off.
scrub off.
I don't know how many times I have spoken to people that buy strawberries from the store and say they get so sick. And it is because
Mm,
I think that all like fruit like that, berries and stuff, those are the worst to make people sick because they spray so much stuff on
really,
them.
stuff on him, yeah. That's so interesting, and we'll talk a little bit more about gardening, but I also want to ask you about what made you start creating videos? So you started off watching people on YouTube and that started your desire. What made you say, "I wanna start recording myself to teach others?"
I used to do video with my cousin. We did like weddings and birthday parties
Mhm.
and graduation party, whatever, we would do videos. And so I stopped doing that when COVID happened. So I wasn't working with her
Okay.
anymore on that. So when I started gardening and I was watching other people, I'm like, I could do that.
I could do this.
Yeah. I don't even know why, because I am such like in the last 2 or 3 years, I've learned about my introversion. And
Yeah.
for all my life, I thought I was shy. I don't think that I'm shy now. I just don't like being around people sometimes. But
Understood.
I I don't know why I just started picking up the camera because it's all it is me and that camera. And I didn't even
Yeah.
understand why I started. I just did.
I think it is that you're creative. Like, you may be shy, but at the end of the day, you are creative and you are missing that part of yourself because you were no longer doing the videos. So you're like, let's share with the world and
Yeah,
let's get behind the camera again.
I guess so.
Were you nervous at all about putting yourself out there? Because even though you were behind the camera, now you're in front of the camera? Were you nervous at all about putting yourself on camera on the internet?
I didn't even think about that.
You
I
didn't think
just
about it?
I just wanted to share what I'm doing, and those videos that I did at first were horrible. They were horrible because you could barely hear me, and they were horrible. But I left them out there, so you can go out there and see 'em, but
I hope you don't look back on the podcast and say, like we look back on this second episode and say, "Those were horrible." But it is like you learn, but I find sometimes I wait to become perfect at something before I start, and I think the best way to do is that trial and error and,
yeah,
like, just learning from your mistakes and getting out there and doing it, so I really, like, applaud you for being able to do that, and now you have such a big audience. There are people that watch you all over the world. Like, how does that feel? Did you imagine that that was gonna be the reach when you
no.
started?
One friend of mine, we call each other dear friend. She's in the UK, the sweetest little lady I know, and
Okay,
she
I love that.
she came to my channel early on, probably in 2022, and she have just been just the sweetest person, but I always think I got somebody that really likes me in the UK.
In the
And there's
UK.
a lot of
Yeah,
people in India, Africa, it's everywhere.
that's amazing, and I think that's the amazing thing about the internet, like, the scary thing going back to the first episode, if you haven't watched the first episode, go back about your digital footprint. But I think also the amazing thing is being able to connect in that way and knowing that you have stuff in common with these folks. And even though that you're in different gardening zones and all the things, they can learn from you and you can learn from them. So I think that's really amazing. What has
Yeah.
surprised you most about this online community that you now have?
That is so many people that is interested in me, and because I
Yeah,
still don't know a lot of stuff. A lot of them come and watch my channel, and they know more than I know about gardening. And but that is the atmosphere that I have tried to create
yeah,
in the community, is just to share. Share what you know. Tell me,
yeah, right.
if you see something that worked for you that would make it easier for me, tell me. Tell me what it is. Because all I'm doing is sharing. I don't feel like
Yeah,
I'm really a teacher, but I'm just sharing my journey because I was
yeah,
once a new gardener, and
right.
that's who watched me the most. You know, w- Times when I was lost, that's kind of where I want to show and share with other people that I knew. Like, I went through that.
Right.
Let me tell you what I did. And
Yeah,
that's
or don't
just
do that, or do this.
yeah, yeah. So that's just that's the most amazing thing that people are interested in me.
At what point did you realize, like, "Oh, yes, this is my hobby, but I could also make money, or this could be a source of income for me as a YouTuber and sharing this knowledge?"
Well, I like I said, I started in 2020. I started even doing video. I started gardening in 2020, and by fall, that was springtime, and then by fall, I was doing video. And then in 2021, I was very inconsistent with making my videos.
Consistent.
I probably would go a month and didn't make a video. But then in 2022, I kind of got I got more serious about it. And I started buying equipment because people always say, you talk so soft, I can't hear you. And so I've
You need a
got
microphone.
mics. Yeah, I got mics and stuff. And I started to want to improve my videos, you know, and give them structure or just make the quality better, the sound better.
Yeah,
And I started to care about that more. And then more people started watching. And then I was getting YouTube started sending me emails saying you're getting close to the threshold and all this
go to
stuff.
monetize.
Yeah. And I'm like, for real? But, you know, then I mean, once you start to want to do better, then
Yeah,
more people will come.
I think that's, like, one of the things I really admire about you is that when you are in something and you enjoy it, you really make it your craft and you strive to do better and want better, and I think that's also the nice thing about watching your YouTube channel. We can see that in your journey as a YouTuber, as a gardener, and I think that's what attract people to gardening with Lisa. So, now that you have gotten to the point where you are monetizing on this or you're gaining partnerships and all of the things, does that at all take away from the enjoyment of it? Does it feel like another job? Let's talk a little bit about that.
It sometimes feels like for right now, I feel like I'll never get tired of gardening because I
Mhm.
just I need it for me. But it does get hard because I'm at work 8 hours a day, and then I come
Yeah.
home and I gotta tend to the garden. And then once, like now, summertime, it's like 8, 9 o'clock before it's dark. So then when I come in
Yeah.
that late, it's time to edit some videos or upload some
Yeah.
footage I just made.
Yeah.
And now I have sponsors. I have to do product review videos and I have a deadline for that. And, I got a video I got to edit now. I got something in the mail coming. When that gets here, I
That
gotta
you're
do
gonna have to,
that
yeah.
video. I gotta place an order for something that this boot company wants me to do. Then when that gets here, I gotta do that. So it's doing product
It's
reviews
another
and all that.
job.
It is.
It's another job.
And I wish that I could do this full time. And I think if I did it full time, I could possibly make a living. But the way it is right now, I still need that full time job because
Job. Yeah.
but I feel like if I could do this full time, I
T
could
Yeah.
make a living on it.
Right. Right. It's the unknown, and I do understand that it, like, becomes like another job. What would you tell people that are thinking about pursuing something new but are afraid because they feel like they're not ready yet?
If you sit and wait on the perfect time, so much time will go by
Yeah.
and you could have went ahead and just like jump on in.
Yeah.
If you
Yeah.
feel like you have something to share with everyone, then go ahead and share it. If it didn't make you feel good, didn't make you feel comfortable, and you don't think you don't wanna do it anymore, then don't do it anymore.
Pivot.
But
Yeah.
try.
Like, you can't say that you didn't try, at
Right.
least,
At
at that
least
point.
try something. Just try it. Don't waste time because time is so precious.
I love that, and I wanna, like, go a little bit more into, like, protecting the joy of your hobby. How do you think, like, you say you'll never stop gardening. How do you think you protected that love of gardening when it's gotten hard or when you're, like, balancing it with your day-to-day job or when it is hot outside? How do you protect the joy in that?
I don't go out there. Mean, some days I get home from work and I don't feel like it. I am so brain dead
Yeah,
from work that I don't feel like going out there. Now, I have set up drip irrigation in my garden, so
okay.
we have it set on timers, so the garden is gonna get watered whether I'm out there or not. So they come on every morning, they come on every evening, and so the garden is gonna get watered. If I don't go out there, then then it is still gonna get watered. And so all I may just need a day or 2 to not
Yeah,
have to go
yeah.
out there. Or sometimes I wanna go out there, but I don't wanna take the camera. I just wanna be out
That was gonna
there.
be that was gonna be my next question, actually, like, when are there times that you feel like, "I just need to take put the camera down and just enjoy gardening?"
Yeah, it is. There's a lot of times I do that, and I don't have I mean, I don't feel like I have to share everything. I mean, I share so much when I do that
Yeah.
when I don't, because I can move faster when I'm not explaining everything.
Yeah,
And
right.
probably when I'm out there and I don't have the camera, it's probably something I've already explained. So I don't need
Fair.
to share it again. So I work faster and I go ahead and do
Yeah.
whatever and I don't have to show it. So I just leave the camera in the house, you know. That's how I protect it.
And have there been ever, like, seasons in your life or just in time where it felt like creating content wasn't joyful?
Um, I enjoy I enjoy it. I don't
That's
think
good.
I remember a time where it wasn't. Like some creators always getting hacked and, got trolls and
I hope
stuff
that
and
doesn't happen to I hope that doesn't happen to you. But I also feel like when you are walking in your purpose, just like from a spiritual perspective and
right.
you're anointed, you're listening to God, like the joy is there, like the peace is
Yes.
there. So that is amazing to hear. And I hope that for all of us, our listeners, that will continue to follow the things that God wants us to do
Right.
because I think joy is there. So that
Yes.
is so great to hear. So we are going to do a lightning round. So I'm going to ask some questions and you just give me the answer that comes to mind. So my first is spring or fall?
Spring.
Spring. Okay. Vegetables or flowers?
I like them both, but vegetables.
Vegetables. What is your favorite thing that you've grown so far?
I love everything. uh, tomatoes.
Tomatoes. Is there a
Hmm.
special kind of tomato that you like more than another?
Paul Robeson.
Paul Robeson tomatoes.
Yes.
What is one plant that you think that everyone should try?
Paul Robeson. Tomato.
Paul Robeson. What is one gardening myth?
I know when I plant tomatoes, I like to use Epsom salt to
Okay.
help with, I feel like, blossom end rot. Now, a lot of people, a lot of gardeners would say that is a myth. That does not help. But I've heard a gardener say that. That's the reason I did it, or I still do it. And I don't have much problem with blossom end rot. And, you know, I'm going to continue to do it because it seemed to work for me.
For non-gardeners, what is blossom and rot?
Tomatoes will get it, squash will get it, melons will get it. It's like the bottom of the fruit just rots. It just turns
Ooh,
brown and it dies. It gets rotten. And it could possibly come from inconsistent watering, like
okay.
get too much water right here and then it go days and don't get any water, just like inconsistent watering. I just use the Epsom salt to remedy to that, you know.
The Epsom salt and that and green thumb make it work.
Yeah,
What has been your most rewarding harvest?
I think we have just been so blessed with so many good harvests over the few years, but I think we have harvested so many potatoes and so many sweet potatoes, and
Ooh,
it's just amazing. Like, it's just amazing. Like, we're just growing in containers. People say you can't grow big potatoes in a, a
in the
container.
containers.
We grew a sweet potato the size of a volleyball one time. I was holding it
Oh my gosh, that is crazy.
in a container, but yeah, I think sweet potatoes and plain white potatoes is what we've harvested a whole lot of.
Wow, that's amazing, and it's so crazy that it was so big.
Yeah,
So my last lightning round question for you is tea in the garden or after the garden?
after.
After the garden. So now we're gonna transition. Oh, what is in your tea now? Like what's currently in your mug?
I mix some sage, some lemon balm, sweet basil,
Okay.
and some ginger.
That sounds really good.
It is
Really
good.
good.
Sage is supposed to be
I
good for your mind, for your, memory, your cognitive memory.
and I have some sweet basil that, like, it's just growing so much that I need to use, so I'm gonna put some in some tea tonight.
Yes. Yes, ma'am, and don't get rid of it. Use it some kind of way. If you can't use it in
Wait,
your, your dish, your culinary
yeah,
uses for it, let it dry, and then put it in a jar and use it over the winter or sometime when you
that's
wanna
what I
make
need to
some
do.
tea. Yeah.
That is amazing. So, I also know that gardening has, especially through the time of COVID, been a form of self-care for you. So, what happens inside of you when you're gardening? Like, what does that feel like?
I mentioned before, like, when the seed, just planting that seed, it excites me because I know what's coming, you know?
Yeah.
The Lord has blessed us so much, like,
Mhm.
when that seed grows, it germinates, and the plant matures, and then we get to harvest all of that, and it is for nourishment for our bodies, for whoever we share with, and we are blessed with so much that we can share. We take harvest to
Yeah.
church and to older family members who can't but want. And so
Yeah.
that's that's just what that's why I
That's
keep doing
beautiful.
it. That's why I keep doing it.
Yeah. No, that's beautiful. You talked a little bit about, like, being an introvert and, like, gardening. Why is gardening why do you think it's, like, so calming for you? What about it gives you that calming feeling?
Because it's not like when I go out there, there is no politics out there. There is
Mm,
no bad things happening other than I might
yeah.
step on a bug or step on a bad worm. That is the baddest thing that may happen out
That's the
there.
worst things that's gonna happen out there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. No,
and,
that's
it's
amazing.
just peaceful, the birds chirping, and it's just peaceful. I don't know why it is. I don't
Yeah.
know why. It just for me, that's
Yeah.
what it is, therapy.
I love that. Has there been a time that gardening carried you through, like, a tough time in life or, like, a heavy time in life?
Well, these days, it's like every
Every day?
day and every week, and I don't even mean just me, I mean, like, everybody. This world
Yeah.
is, like, getting really bad, and
Yeah.
but it's I don't know, stress sometimes from the outside,
Yeah.
just going into the garden calms you, it takes you from out of that world
Yeah.
into that, and so it just helps all the time, whether
Yeah.
it's a
Even with
bad situation going on or not.
yeah, I feel like even with I disclaimer, I do not have a garden. I have a few indoor plants in my little hydroponic counter. But I even feel like watching those things grow is such, like, a beautiful reset of, like, "Oh my gosh, new things will come." Like, things will get better maybe. So I definitely understand that. So next I wanna talk a little bit about, lessons that you've learned in the garden. What is something that gardening has taught you about life?
Well, gardening is on like a timeline, and I always tell my subscribers, go get your grow calendar,
Girl calendar.
and it will tell you once you put in your zip code, it will give you a calendar of when you need to start your seeds. And I always say that your plants grow best when you start the seeds and grow them when they're supposed to be growing.
Yeah.
And you you don't need to miss that window. So
Yeah.
sticking to the calendar, sticking to planning my gardening and all that has helped me with planning different things that I need to do in my life.
So it's
It
helping you stay organized.
right. And sticking to deadlines and all like that, even though I'm late everywhere I go. But
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
but it
Can't
helped.
win them all.
No, you can't. Better late than never.
So, for those that want to get into gardening, want to understand like when they need to start, where can they go to get a grow calendar for like their area?
It's almanac.com,
Okay.
and you can go that to that website, put in your zip code, and it will tell you what is your grow zone, which you need to know that. That's one of the things that when I first started gardening, I was watching, like I said, I was watching Miss Linda. I was watching Led Farmer. Led Farmer's in North Carolina, and Miss Linda's in New Orleans. And then I started watching people in Detroit. I started watching people in California. I'm in Alabama, Grow Zone 8A. And I think you may be probably the same because 8A can be in a large area, different states. And
Yep.
so I cannot do what Miss Linda does. She has way
Right.
longer summers and all that. So that is, I eventually learned that I needed that grow calendar so I knew when to start my seeds. So that's why I tell everybody now, go get your grow calendar,
Grow calendar.
almanac.com, put in your zip code, and it'll tell you what's your grow zone and it will give you a list of just about everything everybody eats and when you need to start your seeds, whether you need to start them indoors or outdoors, and when it's time to, if you started them indoors, when to transplant them outside. And it gives you step by step on how, to grow everything.
We're going to go back to the lessons, but what I wanted to ask you really quick is have you noticed from growing season to growing season variations based on what is going on with the climate? Like it's a little bit hotter than it's been every summer, or like sometimes our winters are going a little bit longer. So, like, are you having to make adjustments to what you're
Yes.
doing in the garden based on what's going on with the climate?
Yes. This year is hotter than last year, and last year was hotter than the year before. Like 3 or 4 years ago, we started using shade cloth, which will give your plants shade from direct sunlight. And we
Right.
always
Okay.
say, find a part of your yard where it's going to get most of the sun. That's where you plant your garden. But nowadays, we're getting like our ozone layer is about to wear out, and but we can't live with direct sunlight. But that's what protects us. But now it's almost like the plants need shade. So I'm having to use
Yeah.
shade cloth. I am like we are having to water twice a day, morning and night. It is just so hot. Last year we had pepper
Hmm.
plants that looked like they were set on fire. They were burned up. And I didn't
Oof.
understand it the first time I saw that. I asked Carolyn,
What's
I was
happening?
like, what is going on with this plant? She was like, I don't know. Looks like it's
It's
dying.
hot.
Well,
Mm,
after, went through the season, I'm like, that plant burned. It burned from the sun.
mm.
Got the
Oh my
shade cloth
goodness.
out too late. Once it start doing that, it gets hot and burn like that, it's no saving it. Might as well take it out.
So, for those that are experiencing these changes, get you your shade cloth so you can protect your
Yes.
garden. So, back to our lessons, because we could probably go on a tangent about global warming and all of those things, but we will not do that today. What has planting seeds taught you about hope?
Well, when you start a seed, like I said before, the little tiny seed that God gives us, and it will grow to a big, huge plant that will just feed you and nourish you. And that just be my hope. Every time I sow a seed, I'm like, I'm hoping
Yeah,
that you're going to grow up
yeah,
to be,
yeah.
very big harvest from you.
Yeah, and that is something we can translate into our regular lives and outside of the garden too. What has pruning taught you about, like, life in general?
Well, I don't prune like I should, but, you know, it can kind of help shape a plant. And just get rid of some of the wild limbs and stuff. And sometimes you have to do that in your life. It's some
Yeah.
things you need to get rid of. Some people sometimes you need to get rid of. Yeah, just cut it off.
What has waiting taught you? Because I can imagine this process takes a lot of patience and waiting.
And which I have none, but I do in the garden because I understand
Yeah,
that, you're gonna have to wait. There's some things you plant and in 2 or 3 days, you sow the seed, in 2 or 3 days, you see the little rise in the soil, and you
yeah,
know the plant is pushing up, and, it's so fun to watch, you know,
really it is.
and I've learned to just wait.
Yeah. What would you say is something that the garden understands, but we often forget as people?
Kinda like everything we've talked about all this evening, like patience, hope, waiting,
Mm,
planning. The garden understands that. This garden is gonna grow at its own pace, so we
yeah,
have to be patient,
yeah,
and we have to plan when we're gonna sow our seeds, and, I mean, the garden understands all of that. It's all nature. It's all
yeah,
God, and we just have to follow along, catch up.
along with it, yeah.
And
So we
yeah,
could learn a lot from the garden and
yes,
following what, beyond just like food, fruits, vegetables, all the things, but there's a lot it seems like there's a lot of life lessons that we can also learn from gardening in the garden as well.
right, right.
So I want you've referenced your community a couple of times, and I want to ask some questions about your community on YouTube. What is your favorite part about interacting with your YouTube audience?
I like, I like to answer my comments, and a lot of people say they don't have time, but that was when I started getting more views and people starting to leave more comments. It was fun because a lot of them would give me tips and advice
Yeah,
and suggestions, and it helped me a lot. And so now that I'm growing, it's hard for me to answer all my comments,
to all
and
the
that
yeah,
bothers me. And because when I do a video, people make comments, and then I may drop another video, and I have not checked the comments before. And now I'm getting a lot of people that are saying, "I'm new here, hello,"
yeah.
or I'm always here and I don't ever comment, but I just wanted to wish you good luck or
That's so sweet.
much love, peace, prayers, whatever. And then I go and don't answer that. That bothers me.
Yeah,
So I love interacting with
your
my
community and your
subs
followers. Yeah,
in the comment section. And I've said it in many of my videos. Please don't think that I'm ignoring you because
yeah,
I am doing the best I can, but I appreciate every comment I get. I may
yeah.
not get around to answering them right away, but I eventually try to.
Which is great. Can you talk to us about some of your gardening friends and how you were able to cultivate those relationships?
Yeah, I mean, you're gonna meet and run into so many people. Some gardeners that are in Texas, they have a lot of meetups.
Oh,
'Cause
meetups.
they
Okay.
are with
Yeah,
each other all the time, and they have a meetup, send invites every weekend, and they are all just a group of gardeners, and they socialize with each other, and they have fun.
I love that.
So,
Yeah,
Texas is such a big, huge state that and there's
it is.
so
It
many
is.
gardeners there, and I think Georgia is same way. It's not that many in Alabama, but
Right.
I met these 2 ladies, they were my subscribers, and one of them, she is a gardener as well, and she has a YouTube channel, and she lived in South Carolina, and so she was only an hour away from where we were, and she drove over, and then the other lady is in North Carolina, but she was only an hour away, so she
Right.
drove down. And so it was fun to meet them, and we just talked about gardening. and we all brought something to each other.
Yeah. Amazing, amazing things, might I say. I brought some things back home with me.
Yeah, it was so fun just to meet them and to
Right.
share ideas, and, I mean, we do all the
Mhm.
time anyway. We text and comment on each other's videos and stuff, and we just have a good time.
I think that's a beautiful thing about hobbies too, is the community that you gain around the hobbies and
Right.
like being able to make friends. And I think a lot of me and my friends, like post college, we talk about sometimes it's hard to make adult friends or like friends when you're an adult. And I think the best way to
Yeah,
do that is to find community in those hobbies and those things that you enjoy. So I'm glad that you have been able to build such a beautiful community from gardening and your YouTube journey. I think that is one of the blessings that comes with walking in the
right.
things that bring you joy and in alignment with what God has called you to do. We're going to wrap up, and I just have a few more questions for you. One is, what is something that you may have not grown yet in your garden, but you are hoping to grow one day?
Asparagus.
Asparagus. Okay. Okay.
Yeah. I think it takes about 3 years before you can
Really?
really once you can start them from seed or you can just get crowns, but once you start growing it, I think it takes about 2 or 3 years before it will produce asparagus for you to eat.
So, if there is someone listening right now who has something that they're passionate about and they've been waiting to share that passion with the world, what advice would you give them?
To be authentic, I still don't feel like I know a lot about gardening. I mean, people come and watch me, and I may say something funny, make them laugh, or I've been told that my voice is calming, is
It
soothing,
is very calming.
and, people could probably come back for that. And they see us working in the garden, and they want to see if I'm going to make it to harvest, and they want to see what I can harvest. If they're looking for a calm
Mhm.
atmosphere, a calm video, some encouragement,
Yeah.
something to make them feel like everything's gonna be okay. If you are not a person that has ever been that way in your life, then you don't need to be doing that. You don't
Like
need to be making
this isn't good
videos.
for you.
Don't do it. Because if you're gonna be somebody who's fake, that's
Yeah.
trying to be authentic and is really not, people will pick it out and they will leave your channel.
Yeah,
They will not come back.
it'll shine through. It'll shine
Yes.
through and you'll see it. Yeah.
So I say always be authentic, be true and honest. I mean, you ain't got to tell everybody everything about yourself,
Yeah. But
but
share a little
when,
bit so people can relate.
right, and care about them, care about their
Yeah.
situations. Some people tell me, I can't grow onions. I can't get it right. I can't do it. Yes, you can. Just keep trying because I didn't make it first time, but I kept trying. So
Yeah.
you keep trying. And that's what I tell people all the time. Keep trying. But
Yeah.
people come to me and say, what do I need to do when I start making videos? I always say, be authentic. People are going to trust you. They're going to invest in you, their time, make it worth their time.
So what I hear is be authentic, be kind, or not don't be on there at all, and
Right.
just keep trying. So I think that's beautiful. Beyond being in the garden, we've talked about like this is an interesting time in our world
Mhm.
and in our country. Beyond being in the garden, what are some other things that have been bringing you joy these days?
If I'm not in the garden and I'm not with my family or something like that, I'm probably gonna be watching TV. And a lot of times I've gotten to where I don't even watch gardening much on YouTube like I
Anymore.
used to.
Yeah.
I like to watch camping, and I don't even understand why. Because a lot of
It's
times it's
interesting.
people who don't even say one word in there. I
You're just
mean, they may
watching them
be
do it.
right, and the captions or maybe just them and their little doggy, and I just love watching that. It's calming. They ain't saying something stupid. It's just them in nature with their dog, and that
I
is
love
so
that.
calming to me.
You mentioned family, so we are giving you joy and camping videos. Does that mean that you'll be going camping anytime soon?
No,
Thank you so much, Aunt Lisa. My last question for you. This is In Good Company, the podcast. You have been good company for me. You are always there when I need you, and I really appreciate you. Who has been good company for you uh, on this gardening journey?
my sister, she's always been there. She moved, it was during COVID, she's working from home and she ended up moving back here to Alabama. And she did that late 2020. So that was the same year I started gardening. And she had started gardening a little bit when she was still in Florida.
Yes, she did.
And then she just brought all that knowledge and everything
Yeah,
here, and we just grew together. And
I love
so
that.
we ask each
And
other,
for
"What you think about that?" Or "What do you think about that?"
And for those of you that watch the YouTube or watch after this, you will never see her on camera, but she is there.
No. Yeah. You might see her
She is
pass
there
by real fast or
real
something.
quick, but she is there. And I think, as someone who also has sisters, it's always nice to have your sister there by your side.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Aunt Lisa. This has been amazing to talk about. I always gain so much knowledge about gardening, but just also about life from you. For those that want to start gardening or just watch your journey, maybe just like camping, it's not something they want to do, but they want to watch. How can they keep up with you on YouTube?
My channel is Gardening with Lisa, and I am a North Alabama Zone 8A gardener. I just share my journey. That's where I am.
Thank you so much, Aunt Lisa. I do have to also say that your YouTube journey has given me the courage to turn my blog into this podcast and be on YouTube as well. So thank you for always being in good company with me. And thank you, everyone, for all of our listeners. Thank you for being in good company with us and can't wait to be with you next time.
Thank you for having me.